The Wizard of Oz is one of those timeless classics that continues to capture hearts generation after generation. With its colorful characters, magical land, and unforgettable songs, it's no wonder we still find ourselves revisiting Oz. But behind the iconic yellow brick road and the Emerald City, many of the stars who brought these beloved characters to life have sadly passed away. Let's take a moment to remember these incredible actors and the legacy they left behind. And the upcoming is 19, the Wizard of Oz actors who have passed away. Judy Garland as Dorothy. Judy Garland, born on June 10, 1922, was just 16 years old when she stepped into the iconic role of Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, 1939. Her portrayal of the sweet, determined Kansas farm girl remains one of the most unforgettable performances in film history. With her powerful voice and sincere emotional depth, Garland quickly became a Hollywood legend, forever associated with the song Over the Rainbow. But before Dorothy, Judy had already made a name for herself in the entertainment industry, performing as a child in vaudeville alongside her sisters. Her big break came when she signed with MGM at just 13, where she starred in countless films. But The Wizard of Oz was the one that solidified her stardom. Over the years, Garland struggled with personal demons, battling addiction and the pressures of fame. Tragically, her life was cut short at the age of 47. On June 22, 1969, Judy Garland passed away from an accidental barbiturate overdose, leaving behind a legacy that continues to influence generations of artists. Jack Haley as Hickory. Jack Haley, born on August 10, 1898, was 40 years old when he took on the beloved role of Hickory, the Kansas farmhand, in The Wizard of Oz, 1939. Known for his cheerful demeanor and kind-hearted portrayal of the Tin Man, Haley brought both charm and warmth to the film. Before stepping into the iconic shoes of the Tin Man, Haley's career had already blossomed in vaudeville, and he starred in numerous musical films, such as Poor Little Rich Girl and Alexander's Ragtime Band. His big break came when he replaced Buddy Ebsen as the Tin Man, after Ebsen suffered a severe allergic reaction to the makeup. Despite facing his own difficulties, including an eye infection caused by the same makeup, Haley's performance became legendary. After Oz, Haley's career slowed down, and he transitioned into real estate, making occasional guest appearances on television. Unfortunately, on June 6, 1979, at 80 years old, Jack Haley passed away from a heart attack. His death marked the end of an era for the Wizard of Oz cast, but his legacy continues to shine through his memorable performance. Frank Morgan as Professor Marvel. Frank Morgan, born on June 1, 1890, was 49 years old when he took on one of the most dynamic roles in The Wizard of Oz, 1939. His performance as Professor Marvel, the traveling fortune teller, was only the beginning. He also played the wizard himself and several other characters throughout the film. His ability to seamlessly shift between personas added depth to the story, making him an unforgettable part of the film's magic. Morgan had already enjoyed a thriving career before Oz, transitioning from silent films in the 1910s to becoming one of MGM's most reliable character actors. He had a gift for balancing humor and sincerity, which made him the perfect choice for the role of the wizard. His performance in The Wizard of Oz cemented his legacy, but his talents extended beyond the Emerald City. He continued acting in films such as The Mortal Storm and The Shop Around the Corner, showcasing his dramatic range. Sadly, on September 18, 1949, Morgan passed away at 59 from a sudden heart attack, just as he was preparing for a role in Annie Get Your Gun. Though his life was cut short, his portrayal of the wizard remains one of cinema's most enduring performances. Billie Burke as Glinda. Billie Burke, born August 7, 1884, was 54 years old when she stepped into the role of Glinda the Good Witch in The Wizard of Oz, 1939, a character that sparkled with kindness and wisdom. With her delicate voice and graceful presence, she floated onto the screen in a shimmering pink gown, guiding Dorothy with a warmth that felt as genuine as it was magical. Long before she waved her wand in Oz, Burke had already built an impressive career. She was a Broadway star, known for her charm and elegance, and later became a favorite in silent films, often cast as high society women. Her Hollywood resurgence came with Dinner at 8, 1933, where her role as a lovable but scatterbrained socialite reignited her career, leading to standout performances in Topper and Merrily We Live, the latter earning her an Academy Award nomination. Though Glinda became her most iconic role, she continued acting in film, radio, and television for decades before retiring gracefully. On May 14, 1970, at the age of 85, Burke passed away from natural causes, but her legacy endures. Like Glinda's magic bubble, she remains timeless, floating through cinema history with the same enchanting grace. Ray Bolger as Hunk. Ray Bolger was born on January 10, 1904, and when The Wizard of Oz began filming in 1938, he was 34 years old, bringing boundless energy and effortless charm to his dual role as Hunk, the kind-hearted Kansas farmhand, and the Scarecrow, who longed for a brain but had plenty of heart. His lanky frame and rubber-limbed movements made the character unforgettable, turning his stumbling steps into an art form that defined the role for generations. Bolger's road to Oz began in vaudeville, where his unique, loose-limbed dance style set him apart. Hollywood soon took notice, leading to Broadway success in On Your Toes, 1936, a show that showcased his athletic grace. The Wizard of Oz cemented his status as a star, but he didn't stop there. He continued performing on stage and screen, earning a Tony Award in 1948 for Where's Charlie? Even as time slowed him down, his passion for performing never waned. In 1986, Bolger was diagnosed with bladder cancer, and on January 15, 1987, at the age of 83, he passed away. But his legacy was already written in film history. His Scarecrow, with his joyful movement and heartfelt longing, remains one of cinema's most beloved characters, a testament to Bolger's unmatched talent. Margaret Hamilton as Miss Gulch. Margaret Hamilton, born on December 9, 1902, was 36 years old when she stepped into the dual roles of Miss Gulch and the Wicked Witch of the West in The Wizard of Oz, 1939. With her sharp features and piercing cackle, she terrified audiences, bringing to life one of the most memorable villains in film history. Unlike many of her co-stars, Hamilton hadn't set out for Hollywood glamour. She was a former kindergarten teacher with a passion for acting, and her talent for playing stern, no-nonsense characters quickly made her a fixture in the film industry. Before Oz, she had appeared in These Three, 1936, and Nothing Sacred, 1937, but her performance as the Wicked Witch defined her career. Despite her on-screen menace, she was known off-screen as a kind and generous woman, deeply dedicated to children's causes. In an effort to soften her wicked image, she made a memorable appearance on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, reassuring young viewers that she was simply playing a role. She continued acting for decades, appearing in television, Broadway, and even Maxwell House coffee commercials. On May 16th, 1985, at 82, she passed away from a heart attack. Yet, her legacy lives on, not just in the form of one of Hollywood's greatest villains, but in her dedication to her craft and her genuine love for storytelling. Charlie Grapewin as Uncle Henry. At 69 years old, Charlie Grapewin brought quiet warmth to the role of Uncle Henry in The Wizard of Oz, 1939, playing the no-nonsense but caring guardian who, while gruff on the surface, clearly adored his niece Dorothy. Born on December 20, 1869, in Xenia, Ohio, Grapewin had lived a life as colorful as the world of Oz itself. Before Hollywood, he toured with P.T. Barnum's circus as an acrobat before finding success in vaudeville and later on Broadway, When silent films emerged, Grapewind transitioned seamlessly, becoming a prolific character actor in the 1920s and 1930s. He became known for his portrayals of wise, weathered men, most notably as Grandpa Joad in The Grapes of Wrath, 1940, a performance that captured both the stubborn resilience and heartbreak of the Dust Bowl era. Over his career, he appeared in over 100 films, lending his authenticity to every role he played. On February 2, 1956, at the age of 86, Grapewind passed away from natural causes. Though his time in Oz was brief, his presence was unmistakable. His Uncle Henry remains a small but significant piece of cinematic history, embodying the steadfast strength of home. Clara Blandick as Auntie M. When Clara Blandick took on the role of Auntie M in The Wizard of Oz, 1939, she was 63 years old, bringing to life the steady and loving presence that made Dorothy's Kansas home feel so real. Born on June 4, 1876, aboard an American ship docked in Hong Kong, Blandick's life was as extraordinary as the stories she helped tell on screen. Her career flourished through the 1920s and 1930s, often portraying no-nonsense but caring maternal figures. One of her most notable roles before Oz was Aunt Polly in Tom Sawyer, 1930, where she expertly balanced stern authority with deep affection. Though her time in The Wizard of Oz was brief, her scenes were completed in just a week. Her portrayal of Auntie M became one of the film's most enduring elements, a symbol of home and unconditional love. In later years, declining health took its toll, and on April 15, 1962, struggling with severe arthritis and impending blindness, she made the heartbreaking decision to end her life. Though her final days were marked by pain, she remains immortalized in one of cinema's most cherished films, forever the beacon of warmth that Dorothy longed to return to. Pat Walshie as Nico. Pat Walshie, born on July 26, 1900 in New York City, was 38 years old when he stepped into the eerie role of Nico, the silent but menacing leader of the winged monkeys in The Wizard of Oz, 1939. Though he had no lines, his precise animalistic movements made Nico unforgettable, adding a layer of unsettling realism to the Wicked Witch's loyal henchmen. Walshie's talent for animal mimicry wasn't just an act, it was a lifelong passion. He began performing at a young age, mesmerizing audiences in vaudeville, Broadway, and the circus, with his uncanny ability to imitate primates. His skills led him to work alongside some of the biggest names in entertainment, including Lou Fields and Joe Cook, and he even had a standout role in Rain or Shine, where he blended acrobatics with his signature animal impressions. After The Wizard of Oz, his time in Hollywood faded, but he found a place in the circus world once again before retiring from performing. On December 11, 1991, at the age of 91, he passed away from a heart attack, making him the last surviving credited cast member of Oz. Though he remained largely in the background, his eerie, watchful presence as Nico continues to haunt and captivate audiences, a silent force in one of film's most legendary adventures. Terry as Toto. Few film animals have left as lasting an impression as Terry, the little cairn terrier who captured hearts as Toto in The Wizard of Oz. Born on November 17, 1933, she was 5 years old when she took on the role of Dorothy's fiercely loyal companion. Small but mighty, she wasn't just a pet. She was Dorothy's protector, braving haunted forests, witches, and tornadoes without hesitation. Under the expert training of Carl Spitz, Terry quickly became Hollywood's go-to canine star, racking up an impressive 23 film credits. But it was The Wizard of Oz that cemented her fame, even earning her a salary higher than some of her human co-stars. Off-camera, she had a brush with real danger when a Winky guard accidentally stepped on her paw, temporarily sidelining her from filming. Judy Garland, smitten with her, cared for her during recovery, and even tried to adopt her, though Spitz declined. After Oz, Terry continued acting, appearing in films like Tortilla Flat before retiring to a comfortable life. She passed away on September 1st, 1945, at the age of 11. Though her original grave was lost to freeway construction, her legacy was honored in 2011 with a memorial at Hollywood Forever Cemetery, a lasting tribute to the tiny dog who walked the yellow brick road into cinematic history. Bert Lahr as Zeke. Bert Lahr, born on August 13, 1895, was 43 years old when he stepped into the role of Zeke, the kindly Kansas farmhand, and his alter ego, the lovable yet jittery Cowardly Lion, in The Wizard of Oz, 1939. Zeke, protective and warm-hearted, was the perfect counterpart to the lion, whose trembling bravado masked a heart full of courage waiting to be discovered. Lahr's career had begun in vaudeville, where his sharp comedic timing and rubber-faced expressions made him a standout. He rose to Broadway fame in musicals like Hold Everything and Du Barry Was a Lady, but The Wizard of Oz became his most enduring legacy. Under layers of heavy lion fur, Lahr infused the character with humor and pathos, making his nervous whimpers and bold declarations unforgettable. Years later, he took a daring leap into serious theater, starring in Waiting for Godot, a performance that redefined his career. He passed away on December 4, 1967, officially due to pneumonia, though his son later revealed he had unknowingly been battling cancer. Even in his final film, The Night They Raided Minsky's, his comedic genius remained untouched, a testament to a career built on laughter, resilience, and an undeniable roar of talent. Mitchell Lewis as captain of the Winky Guard. Mitchell Lewis was born on June 26, 1880, and by the time he joined The Wizard of Oz, 1939, at 58 years old, he had already built a commanding screen presence. As the captain of the Winky Guard, he embodied the fierce loyalty of the Wicked Witch's soldiers, until Dorothy's victory led to his famous change of allegiance, delivering the triumphant line, "Hail to Dorothy! The Wicked Witch is dead!" Lewis had a long and storied career, beginning in silent films before seamlessly transitioning into talkies. He earned recognition with roles like Sheikh Ilderim in Ben-Hur, 1925, and the vengeful Ernest Defarge in A Tale of Two Cities, 1935, proving his ability to bring intensity and depth to every performance. Though his later years saw him take on smaller, often uncredited roles, his impact on Hollywood remained significant. He passed away on August 24, 1956, from a heart attack, just before the release of his final film, The Fastest Gun Alive, 1956. Though his name may not be instantly recognizable, his voice and presence left a lasting mark, forever echoing in one of cinema's most beloved films, Billy Curtis as Munchkin Father. Born on June 27, 1909, Billy Curtis was 30 years old when he played the Munchkin Father in The Wizard of Oz, 1939. Though his role was brief, he brought warmth and dignity to Munchkinland, standing among the town's leaders as they welcomed Dorothy with open arms. Before his Hollywood career, Curtis worked as an acrobat and even dabbled in professional wrestling, but it was his knack for performance that set him apart. He spent much of his career in westerns and science fiction, defying stereotypes and carving out a unique place in film history. Decades after Oz, he gained recognition for his role in High Plains Drifter, 1973, where he held his own alongside Clint Eastwood as the fearless Mordecai. His career spanned more than 50 years, proving that true talent knows no limits. Curtis passed away on November 9, 1988, from a heart attack, leaving behind a legacy of versatility and impact. Whether in fantasy, sci-fi, or the Wild West, he proved that presence and skill matter far more than size. Harry Earls as Lollipop Guild member. Harry Earls, born on April 3, 1902, was 37 years old when he delivered one of The Wizard of Oz, 1939's most memorable moments as a member of the Lollipop Guild. With a confident stance and a mischievous smirk, he helped introduce Dorothy to the whimsical world of Munchkinland, a brief but iconic performance that left a lasting impression. Before arriving in Oz, Earls had already made a name for himself in Hollywood, often playing circus performers or unique roles that fit his stature. One of his most defining moments came in Freaks, 1932, where he played Hans, a wealthy sideshow performer caught in a web of betrayal, a role that cemented his legacy in cult cinema. Alongside his three sisters, he also performed with the Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus, proving himself as both an actor and a showman. Earls passed away on May 4, 1985 in Sarasota, Florida, with the exact cause of death undisclosed. Though his name may not be widely known, his performances, whether in horror, fantasy, or the spectacle of the circus, left an undeniable mark, ensuring that his presence in Oz remains unforgettable. And that wraps up our look at 19 incredible actors from The Wizard of Oz who left their mark on cinematic history. Though they're no longer with us, their performances continue to bring magic to generations of fans. Which Munchkin or Oz character do you remember most fondly? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more classic Hollywood stories.